What is up, guys? Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So we're seeing a pretty strong bounce back in the stock market right now with about an hour left in the session. The S&P 500's up 1.8%. We have the Dow Jones up 1.6%. The NASDAQ is up 1.4%. And the Russell 2000 is up about 1.3% so far. And today we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over 7 stocks to buy now. And I also want to share with you guys what stocks I own right now and in general where my head is at right now as a trader and as an investor. So hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to get yourself into the Strive Smart Discord chat, the Facebook group. Go down below, get 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100 using my link and we both get 2 free stocks. And you could also check out the Patreon for real-time buy and sell alerts, call outs, exclusive morning update videos, and a bunch of other content. And you also get more access to me throughout the day there on Patreon. So check that out, link down below. And let's just get right into it. What we see right here is quite the turn of events. I mean, earlier we saw the markets were actually taking a beating. The S&P opened up from 3780, got up to about 3800, roughly 3805. Then we saw it took a pretty big hit from 3805 all the way down to 3732, and in the moment I thought it was going down to test those lows being around 3720 from yesterday. And then all of a sudden we got those turn of events. We saw the V-shaped recovery. We broke out of 3790, and if you guys were on Patreon earlier today, I made a video talking about this level. That was a big level, 3790. I mean, we tested it earlier today, we failed, and the fact that we ripped up, we had a V-shaped recovery, we tested 3790 again and we broke it, and we broke the 180 SMA on the 5-day 5-minute. That was a pretty bullish sign. And at this point, I mean, overall, is the downtrend still intact on the S&P? I mean, by the looks of it, yeah, it very well is. I mean, look at this. 20-day 1-hour chart. We are still under the 50 SMA, the 180 SMA, and we are still under, if I extend this to the right, the overall lower high downtrend that we've been making. So, I mean, I don't think we're out of the woods quite yet until we get out of 3,900 plus. That is where I think the S&P would truly break out of this downtrend in terms of the technicals. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I mean, I'm not saying this rally's fake, although it very well could be yet again another bull trap. But I wouldn't be surprised if Monday we saw another gap up on Monday to test that 3890, 3900 flat level, which would be the test of the downtrend, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened on Monday, and then we'd get a quote-unquote moment of truth scenario to see, okay, are we going to dump off from there, dump back down, or are we going to break out? So that's what I'm watching when it comes to the S&P, and it's up almost 1.9% now, so it's moving up as we're filming this video. And let's quickly look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ has been seeing a lot of volatility. It's gotten hit very hard. It's down over 10%. Well, not anymore. It was earlier today at its low point. It was down over 10% from the high that we're seeing here at 13,000, roughly 900, 13,900 about. Again, down over 10%, and now we're seeing a bit of a bounce back today, and rightfully so, because we saw a couple of days in a row of straight up selling. We got pretty oversold, so us bouncing back, seeing a relief rally, I'm not surprised. I mean, I was kind of expecting this sooner or later to see some sort of bounce, and this is not out of the woods yet either. In fact, this one's still deeper in the woods compared to the S&P, because a lot of the tech names got hit a lot harder than some of the more value-oriented names. And this one, I mean, it's still under the 50 SMA on the hourly chart, under the 180 SMA, and it looks like, I mean, we're going to test this 50 SMA coming up here at about 12,800, 870 to be exact, and we're still 200 points under that. So I think Monday we might see another pump on the NASDAQ, and we'll see what the futures markets are looking like on Sunday night heading into Monday morning, and we might might get another pump, maybe go to 12,800, 870. If that breaks, I think we could fill the gap, maybe low 13,000s, and that is where we're going to see a quote-unquote moment of truth scenario for the NASDAQ once it breaks around 13K. If it gets to 13.3, it gets hit by this 180 SMA, we could very well go lower and maybe test the lows from today. But if we break out of that, I mean, would be very bullish. So we have to see at this point in time. Now we're getting a bit of a red candle. Let's see what's going on the intraday chart. Yeah, it's still looking pretty bullish. But overall, next week is going to be huge. Monday, I'd say in particular, when it comes to direction overall, and to determine whether or not today's pump is a bull trap or not. And I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think it's a bull trap? Let me know down below in the comments. And make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you guys did that. That shows me you find value in the videos, you like what I'm doing here on YouTube, and it helps me out in the YouTube algorithm as well. So I would really appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. So let's quickly go over what stocks I'm holding. And when it comes to what I did today, anything new, I didn't do anything new. I'm pretty much just holding on to my positions here. It's a bunch of the same old stuff. I'm in Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. I've been buying that one all the way down here. SLV is one that I've been in for a while. It hit a lower price today. I think it was at 23. So it's close, right around my cost basis. We can see here SLV. Yeah, it's right around my cost basis on this dip. So I might add more to this one. Workhorse is one that I'm still holding on, a little tiny little position of Workhorse. Charge Point, I'm holding on still. I might add more on this dip. This is getting completely decimated, guys. I made a video earlier today about SPACs getting hit, the overall market. It's a shorter video. Go check it out after this one if you guys want to see my thoughts about the SPACs. I'm not talking too much about them in this video, but just know they got hit. Charge Point got slammed. Open Door got slammed. You know, Virgin Galactic got hit very hard. And I'm still in NEO, which dumped under 40 today. And I mentioned earlier in that earlier video, somebody said a couple of videos ago, there's no way NEO's going down under 40. There's no way. I was actually saying I thought it was going to go to the mid-low 30s in that video. I think it was last week I said that. And this guy was like, there's no way, there's no way. And look, it went down to, I think it got down to 32 bucks today, guys. And I mean, you guys have to understand, these stocks, they slip very quickly, especially when there's volatility and there's overall selling in the market. But since then, I mean, if you guys picked up some shares at 31.90, its low point, or 32 or 33 for that matter, it snapped back up very quickly. Now it's almost, well, it's not almost green. It's almost down 3%. It's down almost 4% now. It's still red, but it's seen a lot of recovery. Let's put it that way. And Tattooed Chef is another one that I'm still holding on tight, and I'm going to add more into this next week. And I didn't want to be too aggressive today anyway. That's why I didn't add anything or add to my existing positions, because, guys, it's Friday, and truthfully, I want to see if this is a bull trap or not. I don't want to get caught buying here before it goes a lot lower on Monday or Tuesday, so I'm being a bit safe. But overall, that is what I'm doing. Let me know your thoughts, and that's what I'm holding. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to know as always. And by the way, don't forget to check out that Patreon if you do want my real-time buy and sell alerts, stocks I'm looking at during the day, call-outs throughout the day, and if you want exclusive videos throughout the day as well, that's all on Patreon. Check that out, linked right down below. So let's go over a bunch of stocks I'm looking at. I have 7 here on my iPad listed out, so let's run through these. The first one is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, and this hourly, or no, this is actually the 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart does not look too pretty. I mean, we've sold off from about $100 down to about $78 now. We're down over 20%. AMD is officially in a bear market, and it doesn't look like it's been, I mean, it's about to test 73, 75, which is a big point of support, but it doesn't really look like it's uptrending. It looks like it's trading more sideways. I mean, look, overall resistance is at 95 to about $100, with overall support at about 70 to 75. So I'm thinking, okay, if AMD could hold 75, maybe we get a push back up to the 80s, maybe 90s. That could be a play here on this overall, horizontal channel. And what I like even more, again, I'm not seeing an uptrend here on the 4 hour per se, but what I like more is if I pull back to this 3-year chart, this is where you can see the uptrend on AMD and you get more perspective and you're like, okay, it's still in an uptrend. We actually held the 50 SMA on this 3-year chart as of today, as we sold off pretty aggressively earlier. I mean, look, on the intraday chart, AMD got to $74 earlier today, and back to that 3-year chart again, it held the 50 SMA on that drop today. So that's a good sign. I mean, this very well could be a dip on AMD, a dip buy. And as always, guys, you must do your own research, your own due diligence, understand what you're doing for yourself before buying anything or selling anything for that matter. But I'm looking at AMD as a decent play here. I think there's a lot of upside, and I've said it before, and it didn't get there. And by there, I mean, I said $100 plus is what AMD should be. I think this is a $100 plus stock. I've said, I mean, I could easily see AMD over $100, let's say within a year, 2 years, easily, no problem, right? That's kind of the way I'm viewing it. And this is even better since it came down a good chunk. Now we could pick it up at a lower price. So AMD is very attractive to me here. Anywhere in the mid to low 70s, I am watching it and heavily considering it. And Amazon is another one. I've mentioned this a good amount in my videos here, but looking at the 3-year chart gives you some perspective on Amazon as well. Look, we ran up aggressively from $1,800 last March all the way to $3,500. We ran up, doubled up pretty much, and the past couple months have been pretty stagnant for Amazon. It's been trading horizontally. It's gotten itself in this wedge from $3,500 being the peak to about $2,800, $2,900 being the low where we are now. We've just been bouncing back and forth in that little wedge ever since the middle towards the end of August. I mean, Amazon hit an all-time high months ago, guys. That was 6 to 7 months ago. That's a while ago, and it's been trading horizontally since then. Now we're obviously pulling back. So overall, I think this is a solid entry on Amazon, whether it's $2,800, $2,700, $2,600. If it gets down there, that's even better. But even here at $2,900, I like this entry point, this area in general for Amazon, as I do think we're ultimately going to get a rotation back into these tech names. Amazon will pick back up, and I wouldn't be surprised in a year or two Amazon being a $3,500, $4,000, $4,500 stock. That's if they don't even split the stock, which they might split the stock at that point. So I love the dip here on Amazon, AMZN. JD is a Chinese stock here. Take a look at this one overall on the 3-year chart. You can see nice dip there, all-time high being 108. Now we're trading at 90, and if we zoom in a bit on the 4-hour, you can see it even better. This is kind of looking like an ascending triangle in a way. Resistance at 98, $99. We hit that resistance once here in November, twice here in the end of January, and in the beginning towards the middle of February as well. And then we broke out of it, got to 108, then back under 100 very quickly. And we've been struggling at $100 ever since. And now we're looking to hold 90. I mean, this could end up being a higher low. It might continue the uptrend here. And I think if it does, we have a rebound in the market as well. That could propel JD.com, I think, back to the mid-90s, high 90s, and if $100 tests, that could break out. I think we might be seeing 105, 110 plus at that point. So that is how this could play out. And granted, if we get a market crash, guys, a lot of these stocks, they're going to get hit a lot more, some worse than others. But let's say we have a smooth sailing market. Maybe we get, it recovers a bit for a week, 2, 3 weeks. I could see JD bounce bounce right back up. So we have to watch that closely, very closely. Microsoft is another one. MSFT is the ticker symbol. And look, this was in a wedge for some time, very similar to Amazon, right? But the difference here is Microsoft, it broke out of that wedge and it actually hit an all-time high about actually a little bit over a month ago at this point at $247. And ever since that point, we sold off. And now with today's hold at $225, we're actually maintaining an old resistance where we pretty much triple topped back here in October, November, and December. We're pretty much holding 225 as support, and we're ripping up, and we're about to close probably around 230, 235 in the next 45 minutes. We'll probably close around there by the looks of it, guys. And a thing that I'm looking for next week on Microsoft, very, very simply, is this hourly chart. You can see very clearly that Microsoft is struggling here, and we're about to test the downtrend as we speak. The lower high, if it succeeds, the downtrend succeeds. And by that, I mean if we dump off and go back towards the 220s, if that happens, the lower high would be right where we are now, pretty much at 233, 234, right around the 180 SMA. So I'm watching out for that level very closely, because if we break out of this, I'm thinking 235, 240 easily is where we're going. And this could easily recover back to all-time highs. I mean, it's pretty close. This stock's not too far off all-time highs. It's down 5% compared to a lot of other stocks getting slammed these past couple of days. And on a side note, Google is also holding up. In fact, it went up 3% today, and it's down less than 2% from its all-time high a couple of weeks ago. And as the market's been getting crushed, Google has been holding up. I love it. That is why it is my biggest position in one of my long-term accounts, my M1 Finance account, that you guys can actually see here on YouTube through the playlist section. Go check it out, and you'll see my portfolio on there, how I built it from $0 all the way to where it is right now. So go check that out. I'm absolutely loving Google, guys. And KO is another one that's interesting. That is Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO. We have a big resistance at $51. Such a big resistance, guys. I mean, we got hit there multiple times. Look, once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and now it's about to be the 8th time we're going to test 51. Coke is currently up 1.6% right now, so we very well might test this in the next 45 minutes. The market is open, but I think next week is going to be a very big week for Coca-Cola's direction. But overall, I like it. I mean, look, we're making higher lows. We made a higher low pre-market, or was that aftermarket yesterday? Either way, we held 50. We ripped up. We broke resistance points from earlier today. Now all we have to break is, again, 51. And I think if we pull back here on the 4-hour, you can see it. If 51 breaks, I mean, Coca-Cola has a big gap to fill. I'm thinking mid-50s is where we're going. 54, probably 55 even, which gives it about 7%, 6-7% upside on the higher end from where it is right now. So watch out for Coca-Cola. I like it. And I might nibble some of that one next week, depending on if it breaks $51. And 2 gold stocks, mining-oriented stocks I'm watching right now, very beaten down. One of them is FCX, Freeport McMoran, guys. You guys can see this one up well, it's still trading. It's up 6.7% right now. And this one overall, if you guys didn't know, it engages in the mining of mineral properties in North America, South America, and Indonesia. The company primarily explores for copper, gold, molybdenum, I don't even know what the heck, I don't even know how to say that, silver, and other metals, as well as oil and gas. So again, it's a mining-oriented company, not a crypto mining company, a gold, silver, all those metals, oil, gas, all that good stuff. And we can see clearly this stock's been crushing it. I mean, from $10 to $40 in the span of 6 months, less than that. That is killer performance. And you guys can see, of course, like many other stocks, this pulled down as well. It went down from $39. It hit a low of $32, right around that 180 SMA 4-hour chart here. And it ended up ripping right off of that. Again, today it's up almost 7%. And now we're about to test the 50 SMA here, which is the moment of truth spot for FCX. I think if it could break this 35, 36 level, I'm thinking 39 plus is coming for the stock. $40 even. I think that is where it could go. So what I'm focusing on more in-depthly is this hourly chart, right? Look at this. If we break out of this downtrend, again, off to the races. 38, $40 is where we could be going. So FCX, I'm watching it. That's one of them. And NEM, good old Newmont Corporation, guys. This is one that is very beaten down from $72 a couple months ago down to now $56. And this is one that's downtrending clearly. It's one of those downtrending channels. And depending on what you guys trade, what setups you trade, you might not like this. But for me, I see value in this. I truly do. I think we could end up getting from $56 maybe up to about $58, $60, $62 even, close to the resistance of this downtrending channel. So I really like Newmont Gold, or Newmont Corporation here. Gold, on the flip side, ticker symbol gold, is one that I bought recently. That's more of a long-term investment. It's currently up 1%, and the pattern's very similar, right? It's up 1%. It's more towards the bottom of this channel. I see upside to about $22. And like I said in my video where I talked about a little bit, you know, my long-term investment outlook for this, it has dividends. It pays about 2% right now. And based on the price appreciation, or the depreciation of the price, shall I say, from $30 to $18, and my bullish outlook on gold, which I think is going to be 2,000 plus an ounce in the next year or two at least. I think there's even more upside from that. I'm bullish overall on gold, so why not play a leveraged way to play gold, which is the gold stocks? And I think there's value here. I mean, I really think there's value here with the dividend. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was a $25 stock, $30 stock in a year or two. And on top of that, you might not think that's a lot of price appreciation, but hey, we get dividends on top of that. And it could be a $30 plus stock. We don't know. And that's just one of my targets on this one. And yeah, I own some of that at $19 flat. I think I bought it at $19.04. So yeah, overall, guys, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm looking at. Those are some thoughts on the market. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to know, as always. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. That really shows me, guys, that you find value. I really appreciate it. And again, it helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. So subscribe and hit the like button, and make sure to also get 2 stocks from WeBull. Those are completely free. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you could actually take that $100 out after you get your 2 free stocks, and they're valued up to $1,600, so it truly is free. You don't have to leave that $100 in if you don't like WeBull, which I bet you will like WeBull. It's a pretty cool platform. I use it for options trading, but yeah, check that out, and make sure to check out the Patreon if you guys want real-time buy and sell alerts, call-outs throughout the day. You want morning update videos and a bunch of other exclusive content, plus access to me throughout the day. That's all on Patreon, linked right down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets, guys. Stay safe out there.